My name is Dan Morrison, and I'm going to talk about a community arts project that celebrates John Brown's passion for equality. I live in Torrington, Connecticut, which is the birthplace of John Brown, the abolitionist. There are a lot of John Brown references in our city. You know, the homestead is located just out of town. An illustration of his house is on all of our recycle bins. It's part of the town seal. There's huge murals from the WPA project hanging in our post office, pictures of John Brown and his family on the homestead here in Torrington. There are even collections of John Brown artifacts in the Public Library and the Historical Society, both of which contain a piece of the rope that was used to hang the old man. I work with a nonprofit here called Culture for a Cause, whose mission is to build community through music and the arts. And when we were disrupted by COVID, we were looking for ways to, still be relevant, and decided to launch a community arts project where we would do a 21st century remix of the Civil War song John Brown's Body, which was written by Union soldiers and was an incredibly popular song during the early part of the Civil War. We decided to do this because as a country we were in the middle of probably the biggest civil rights movement ever. We felt that it was important to stand up and say out loud that people are welcome and wanted and that they deserve respect and dignity for the simple fact that they exist. We wanted to amplify John Brown's passion through a song that was based in equality. So we started recruiting local musicians to record this song in a recording studio right downtown called Red Room Sound Studio. The live room is huge. It's like 60 by 60 with a 20-foot ceiling. So, plenty of room for social distancing, but also a great room to record a huge ensemble like the Torrington High School Marching Band, who were the first musicians to climb the stairs up to the studio, and also a children's choir called Chorus Angelicus, internationally acclaimed group of singers. Because it was a Civil War song, we thought we would cover musical styles from the Civil War to hip-hop in this song. So that's how we teamed the children's choir with the high school band. We got some young men to sing the part of the singing soldiers. An interesting part came next. I wanted to include old-time banjo because that was, it's often attributed as being, the first solely American instrument, but really banjos were brought over in the minds of African people who were separated from their families and enslaved in the Americas. They played similar instruments in West Africa that were made out of gourds and sticks and strings, and when they found themselves here, they started making banjos, and that really changed the face of American music right off the bat. When I was talking to the clawhammer banjo player, he told me he didn't want to play a Civil War style. That style was mostly minstrel shows, which was based, really based in racism. So he played a pre-Civil War style, which may have been heard, by African people playing on plantations. So we moved our focus from Civil War to hip-hop to 1619 to hip-hop. When we did that, we decided to add the djembe, which is an African drum, and had a local African drummer come into the studio and play. We wove the music together by telling the story of the music, how it evolved from African drumming to banjo, to blues, to jazz, boogie-woogie, rock and roll, and most recently hip-hop. All of those forms of music, which became incredibly popular in this country, came from black musicians. And America and the world owe a huge debt to black artists. They're pretty much always right when they start making art. And the kids went wild over all of those music styles, and parents were scared to death, and it turns out the kids were always right too, and the parents were always wrong. At least about music. So we recorded all of the parts individually and then stuck them all together in a studio, and they fit together beautifully, into a wonderful sonic exploration of American music. I think the project is important because it tells people that they are safe in this community and that people are people. We're all different, and in that way, we're all the same.